here they are, and Diego is gonna go first. As you can see, both on an incredible record today.
And Diego starts things off with Pot of Duality. He's still continuing to play the most standard lineup with Duality, Extravagance, and Pot of Prosperity. Super consistent one. And I think that seeing in this deck, we have seen him playing almost pretty much the same lineup with 3 Shifter in the main deck.
Yeah. And you can see him here just going through at fast speed. I mean, he has done this so many times. Yeah. I think, as I mentioned, just pretty sure he could do all of this by memory. Of course, as you mentioned, the magnificent map. What a card. Not only does he allow you to pretty much unbreak your hands, but the additional effect against some of these decks is really, really strong.
Yep.
Like, not many decks can play through such without the normal summon, especially when you set up the statue, because then you cannot special, so you're forced to normal summon.
But I really like how the Flow Wanderers deck has become basically one of the most popular decks, I would say, the high tables.
Yeah.
Because we took a look before, and a lot of players relied on it. And I think this is something that has changed throughout the past months, in which basically, let's say, it was the deck that you really didn't want to face. Because it's not easy to play. And then,
yeah.
Still here, so...
Here we see even the Unexplored Winds, which is usually a card that you don't see every time in the opening, and is one of those where you already have a setup, then you're gonna search for it, because it's so strong. It's not once per turn in a way where if you are able to go for 2 tribute summons, you can actually use 2 cards from your opponent, but now we can get to see this deck, and let's see if Diego will be caught off guard, because of course if you see tier element cards at the moment, you're not thinking Paleo, but now he's gonna send the top 3 cards. He hit the breakthrough skill, and what are these mills? Really good already.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a search, sets up the breakthrough skill, and right now I think it's still early to know that your opponent is on Paleo. Breakthrough could be just a attack card, I guess.
And I really like that basically we got to see how Tier Elements was splashed with very different variants throughout this weekend. And I think, I mean, to me this is the most fun, I think, one. And
yeah, it's a very interesting version. Now he's gonna have to pretty much play the Kid Kalos in defense to play around the M-Pen, and Diego is considering his moves. I think it is the first time we feature him where he has an open Shifter. But let's see. Of course, Shifter amazing overall, and in this matchup in particular.
Yeah, definitely.
To be fair though, playing a bunch of trap cards could help to, feel the impact of Shift a little less, and it's paying off. I mean, both of these guys basically just guaranteed top cut with a draw. Whoever is gonna win or prevail in this matchup will make it to the top 64, but even if they lose out from here on, they have good chances of sneaking in, with a 60, 61, maybe place. Okay, so here we see some mills. Ooh, and these are great mills from the top. 2 Paleozoic cards, and your favorite, of course, which is the King Back Jack. Great card, honestly. It does so much. Essentially, what it does is you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then you can banish it during your opponent's turn to mill the top card, and usually what you can do is get a trap, but you can also send the tier elements in this deck and just combo through.
Good old days in which you got to see the XYZ universe and using all the Zodiac monsters too.
Yeah, that was really good. But yeah, now Diego just doing what he does best, and in this case the Dreaming Town was so strong. I mean, it would be, I think, good enough even without the second effect, because like having a trap card to allow you to normal summon is great, but pretty much Book of Eclipse-like effect is insane, and you can see it here. So gonna be tough for Florentin to stay in this game. The statue, it's the field, and yeah, let's see. He has at least a way. Of course, Diego could use the field spell, but he doesn't, so he's able to get rid of the one copy of the barrier statue, which means free face down cards, and this is the power of his deck. He can get back some Paleozoic from the graveyard. You're already set up with the King Backjack and the Breakthrough, but a clutch top decked Pot of Extravagance, really good pickup by Diego.
Because as we said before, Florentin is playing, I think he might be holding cards like Lost Wind or Paleozoic Canadian or Dynamiscus as well. Still, Diego.
Another duality.
Yeah.
Is Diego still on the 9 pots?
Wow.
Ooh, and the Feather Duster in the main deck. Wow. What a surprise and what a find here. Instantly picked. That's definitely something you don't see in the main deck often. And you can see Florentin just smiling, picking up his cards, and this is the game. Wow, what a start. And yeah, Diego once again just completely crushing it with these just Flow Wonders deck. He's unstoppable.
Yeah,
I told you.
I mean, like, you should have seen him playing throughout the last 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, he's really a machine. Like, he knows his deck by heart. We've seen him playing, you know, in his very first turn, like, you know, speed is like incredible. And the RP's Feather Duster, though, as well in the main deck.
The RP Feather Duster in the main deck is just the cherry on top. I'm actually curious to just quickly go through his deck list, because we have seen it changing quite a bit in between events. Used to play some copies of, you know, Lightning Storm, but I think it's really similar to what he played at Italian National Championship with the one copy of RP Feather Duster. He got to it. I mean, that's just a game.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these cards that I think can make the difference, and it did. Having it in the main deck, especially because your opponent don't really expect it at all.
Yeah.
And looking at the side deck, he decided to play the Apex Avian instead of main decking it, which is something very interesting. Maybe we could ask him if we get the chance.
If he wins, we're going to try and ask him about this Apex. Outside of that, I mean, evenly matched, we've mentioned it plenty of times. It's one of the most popular card decks in the side decks this weekend. Some people even maining it. And alongside the Cosmic Cyclones, I think he has a really good side deck for this matchup. On the other hand, though, I think Florentin was in a really good spot in game 1. Only, and I feel bad for him in a way, like, who is main decking RP Feather Duster today? Not many players.
No.
Outside of that, I think he would have had the game, but now he goes to the side deck, and what do you think he's gonna put in?
I mean, playing against Flow Wonders, you don't really have a specific side deck for the deck, because, again, it's one of these decks that you don't really want to play against at a tournament, but looking at the side deck, he will go first, and, like, the deck is a trap-based deck, so it's, you know,
it's
always...
really good at going
yeah,
first.
exactly.
Yep. I think maybe the Olinoides, like he's setting the free Olinoides in the side deck. You want to get, you know, the map or the Dreaming Town with it, so you probably side them in. But what surprises me, that there is no Solemn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he does have in the side deck the one copy of Crime, so that surely comes in and can act as a pseudo Solemn Judgment, but no Solemn in the Paleo deck is surprising.
Yeah.
It's working out for him. So let's see if Diego will advance with a swift 2-0, maybe drawing once again the Feather Duster, or if Florentin will be able to show off his Paleo tier element decks. Let's go to game 2. And here it is for you guys on screen. One of the tech cards in the Florentin deck is the one copy of Crime. which you can search pretty easily after siding, and that's the goal. But let's see this opening. It's a pretty good one. Is there a shifter from Diego? There is not. So once again, he's going to be able to send the top 3 cards of the deck. And it is one Paleo and another name.
Good.
So good meals already by the French player.
Good meal here. Yeah, you can start things off with the Shaireen, and he has also Merly.
Yeah, the goal, as always, is to get to the Kikalos, and you can search the crime. I think it makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. He must have sided in for sure, and he has another negation, basically.
Yeah, it's great, though, because as we mentioned, it's pretty much the best card against, you know, evenly matched, Lightning Storm, all of these cards. So I think it's really, really good, and I would be surprised if we didn't see it right here, right now. Let's see. Florentin considering his options. Of course, you could also just ignore it and go for a Suliek, which is great on the normal summoned Flowanderies. But then you put your opponent on not having evenly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think crime is better, for sure.
Yeah, he's considering it, but he gets the Saliek.
Instead, he goes for the Saliek. Interesting. We'll see if this will be a big punishment in the end. Do you think he's gonna push forward, just set a few? Yeah, he does have it. Yeah. So, great start. Okay, solid. It will be able to pretty much send a tier element and 5 more cards. Let's see if it's anything interesting. He does. So, lots of Paleozoics in the graveyard already set up. He's gonna be able to just even go further with adding another one to his hand and a fusion. Do you think he could go maybe Stapelia in this matchup? I think it's better, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Against Flunder, I think it's one of those cards that I'd like to have on the field.
Yeah, I think if you open like Stapelia plus Saliek, unless they have one of those side deck cards, it can be really annoying.
I also think he milled a couple of Paleozoics as well, which are good for...
Yes, so many.
Yeah.
Yes, 3. And let's see. He's actually gonna consider his options. I think he is gonna go for at least a Stapelia. And he does, yeah. The positioning is somewhat questionable, I would say. Maybe against Lightning Storm, you could consider it just summoning them in defense position. It's not like Flowanderies can attack over them easily. But this is a huge setup. I really hope that Florentin, and it would surprise me if he didn't maybe hard drone the crime. Because if this was a crime face down, this would be over. Let's see the Cosmic right away. Huge 50-50 potentially. And he hits the Saliek, okay? Diego considering his options once again. Maybe he has a second copy of Cosmic. Wow. And it's instead the Dynamisc. So great start already by the Italian. Let's see if he can continue with this. Maybe a Dark Ruler. He goes with the field spell. And this is tough.
He also has the Robina.
Yeah. Already a great, great start. You have the additional summon. You will be able to search. I think you wait and just negate the Eagle, hoping that they don't have a tribute summon. And I mean, if they do, shake their hand and congratulate them on their luck. But for now, yeah, he will just push forward. He is considering his option. I didn't quite catch which of the Flowanderies he added, but it's probably this 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you can get rid of the breakthrough skill, I would say. Okay, yeah, for now, Eagle comes down. I think you have to negate it. But it didn't activate it, I think. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I think he didn't, right?
Interesting one. We didn't quite catch if he did, but again, another of the reasons why we could have considered it. As mentioned, he did not activate the Eagle effect. catching his opponent off guard, and once again you can tell just how much he has practiced. He pushes forward with the statue and just crashes into the Stapelia, using its effect. What a show off from Diego. Really, really well played.
I mean, he knows what he's doing, and he's super confident.
The only thing is, maybe I would have liked this 3 right away, but he can just wait and do it because of breakthrough skill. Because now breakthrough skill could have been used. He did not mill it this time yet, so we'll see if he is able to push through. But what a turn of events. He's gonna just move to the battle phase, you think?
Does he have the...
Yeah, he does it. He searched for the Dreaming Town. He does not have at this point in time an interruption. He will just chain a Paleozoic. He can't because of statue. So what a play from Diego. So good, so good. Now you can get the Raiza, for example.
Yeah, and now he continues with the Eagle. Wow.
Let's see, he could get to the Raiza, for example, and get rid of all of his opponent options. I feel like he went for another M-Pen right away and gonna go and use it. What a show off from the Italian. You can just tell, as we mentioned, he has been playing this deck for so long. He knows all of the flex spots, he knows what to do, what to search for, and this is quite a dominating position. Wow. What can you even do if you're Florentin? He just sets one and pass back. This could be a quick one once again from Diego. Just a game from being guaranteed a spot in the top 64 for YCS Utrecht. And he goes already for the Toucan, setting up, getting back the Dreaming Town. You can see just how good this deck can be. This is so much advantage. Just look at this. His opponent is on 2 cards, pretty much. Well, he's on more than 10. The advantage is just getting through the roof. And now he's tributing for Raiza. Yeah, this is... getting a little bit too much for Florentin. With the double Cosmic, he's just sending back one of the cards, the other one back into the deck, even putting the Cyclone. And yeah, that's the game. That's the match. And Diego just quickly crushes his opponent with a 2-0. What a match. My God.
He always leaves us speechless. I mean,
yeah, I mean, every time why do we keep doing this? Oh, man. We should just stop featuring Diego. It's so ruthless.
It's a machine, really.
Yeah, it's a machine. It doesn't seem like he's that nervous. He's getting used to being on stage. I mean, this year he's crushing it. Italian national champion at the biggest ever Italian national championship. Great show at the European Championship. Again, another result, another guaranteed already ever since we are back with ERL events, 3 top cuts in a row. Stop this man.
Yeah.
And all the time with Flowander, he's just the Flowander he's got at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give it to him. Yeah.
I mean, if you face Diego, guys, be ready. I
mean, I wouldn't. I surely would. But to be fair, Flowander is. And gotta give credit when it's due, Italian Flowanderies are showing off strong. This was table 2, but table 1, we had Mario, another Italian player, 10-0 with Flowanderies.
And I can tell you, same list. Diego's same list.
Card by card, they play together, same team, same list. So it seems as if the deck was a solid choice for the event. Both guaranteed a top cut spot.
Yeah.
So. Not much to complain, but overall the match, what can we really say? Diego won the die roll, went first. And to be fair, I think the game was actually closer than it looked.
No, for sure.
Because his opponent showed why this deck is also most likely going to be in the top cut. The fact is that the usual good cards against tier elements disrespect face down cards. So if you have a lot of traps, as it was in game 1, I think like 90% of the time, Florentin wins game 1. If there is not the Feather Duster in the main deck, that was insane.
That was
Can
the
you
game
even
changer.
blame him, to be fair?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that card in the main deck, nothing to laugh at, but it's working out. And to be fair, you can't underestimate that. Like, Feather Duster seems like it's a really, really solid choice. It has been phenomenal against all of the decks we have seen this weekend.
Yeah.
Even Runic, just get rid of the Fountain, the Smashers, and with less and less Totally Awesome being played due to the Ronin Toad in Forbidden, I think Feather Duster was a solid choice.
Yeah, it's paying off. I think is I don't want to say it's a tech, because basically, I mean, it's on the current format, it's playing on the side deck. But playing it on the main deck, basically, I mean, I would not expect it at all.
Can you remind me, when yesterday, I think, Ed interviewed us with one of your questions, which, by the way, feel free to just keep on asking us. We are asking them on Twitter, so if you have any question for us commentators, feel free. But yesterday we went through some of them. One was the card that is a must-have for us.
I picked Cosmic
Do you
Cyclone.
remember which one did I pick? I'm not sure.
I remember it was Herpes Feather Duster.
It was the Feather Duster, but yeah, outside of this useless bragging from me, I think the card is really strong. You should consider it in the side deck, maybe even in the main
or
deck.
ask Diego.
Yeah, and I guess that was round 11. As a final reminder, there is one more round of Swiss, the 12th round, before we jump into the top 64. But before we do that, we have, once again, our lovely Ed ready with Diego, the Wonderies machine. Let's smash it, guys.
Thank you, Marcello. Yes, I am joined by the god of Floo Under Ease, the machine of Floo Under Ease, and the winner of round 11, Diego. Diego, congratulations again, because we've seen you we've seen you win the Italian Championship, we've seen you in the Euros, and now we've seen you all here topping these events. How does it feel?
Thanks. And I play Floo Under Ease because for me is always the best deck, because you can play very, very, very strong cards. And in this format, Shifter is so good. It's very, very good.
It's very good. So during that, you had a very almost ruthless approach where you were just absolutely decimating the back row. You drew into the Harpy's Feather Duster on the mill. And then in the second round, you had 2 back-to-back Cosmic Cyclones. Were you fairly confident when you knew it was Paleozoic that you were going to beat them?
Yes, I'm very confident, and in this match, I think back row are very, very important, because the problem against the elements are Sullic or Impermanence, Skill Drain. So I decide Dark Ruler and side evenly match Cosmic, because back row are a very, very problem for me.
So you're now X1, is it? You've got 10 wins and 1 loss, is that right?
Yes, for now I lost only 1 game, but I'm focused on the game, and I can win only game after the end of this tournament.
What was the one that you lost against? Which deck was that?
I lost by Sprite Runic.
Are there any decks in the top cut that you're slightly afraid of going up against, or are you quite confident with the Floo Under Ease choice at this point?
No, I'm very confident against every deck.
That's what we like to hear. Well, congratulations again, Diego. Best of luck with the next round and hopefully getting into these top cup finals. It'll be very exciting to see what happens. Don't go anywhere though, guys, because we've got the final round of Swiss coming up in just a bit.